welcome to the pre-show. I'm just chilling here with y'all, making music for half an hour until the interview starts with Shooka and Mixed Media, aka Laine Kelley. This one's gonna be a banger, guys. We'll let this song play out. Go grab a drink, go grab your smoke, get comfortable, and get ready to do this. And come on, Moneymaker, what up? Right in the chat right away. Love to see it. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Guys, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. I got less than half an hour to make some music with y'all while we get ready for Laine to get on the show. So let's get right into it. Hope everybody's having a good evening. I am. And it's nice to be here for RickTalk Season 2. It's crazy. I did 12 episodes last year. It's not really like much structure to when they were coming out. I kind of did some, and then I'd go on a run and do them every week. And this one's, after doing a whole season, we're feeling a little better here. All right, so this is a song that I'm working on. It's called Space Base. Let's give it a listen here. Hopefully the volume on that's not too bad. So, last season we had a bunch of musicians. Let me turn this down to headphones. And I had a couple
many years ago, the British explorer George Mallory,
so it's
who
nice to have
was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said, because it is there.
I like the sound. It sounds good. So the cool thing about Laine is he's primarily a video touring all around artists. Primarily, there is some understanding right now, but if things were happening. So that's gonna be cool to talk about that side of the industry because we only ever hear about like performers and how they came up, but never really about current states in
Single running, you better get down.
Many years ago, the British explorer George Mallory, who was to die on Mount Everest, was asked why did he want to climb it. He said, because it is there.
Drop it back, baby, baby, drop it back. Drop it back, baby, drop it back. Drop it back, baby, drop it back. Drop it back, baby, baby, drop it back. Drop it back, baby, drop it back. Drop it back, baby, drop it back, baby.
Right? It's not bad. Ooh. Right at the end, this little those choral noises. I don't think we need those because that kind of sounds shitty. Let's cut that off. We'll do that. That wasn't too bad. We're gonna just do a couple run-throughs of these because before we know it, we'll be talking to Laine in like 20 minutes, which is the vibe. All right, save first. And we're just working through songs that are closer to done. Doing like fine little edits, some musical texturing, refining. Hell yes. Come on, computer, you got this. All right, thank you. Did I record this? Yes, I did. All right, yep. Run it from the top, and we'll see like what stands out and needs correction here. So. Right off the bat, that's kind of loud. That's Sandman, I think. Oh no, it's a soft world. I'm gonna turn that down too.
It's the first one of humanity. But mankind cannot say.
I don't know. Let me know if you think that this bass is just like too loud for this. That's some pretty lights vibes to it. I'm gonna come back. Okay. Traps out a little bit. Transitions nicely though. Here sound good still. Maybe this is a little loud. I'm still trying to get over that. Just turn it a little down. still, it feels like something. And I'm scared to turn the fade to gray up because that just makes it lose its like really gritty nature. I could maybe just like a touch to 20. Let's hear it again. Man, that's tough. That's a tough call. I think it's okay. For now, we'll keep moving on. This one I've really been enjoying. All right, we'll save this first. And this song. I think I started this one 4 weeks ago, and we'll work on it on and off a little bit, but it's the one that I think I'm the most stoked with so far. For sure. I don't know what to name it. It's named Voices, like, so I could save it. So let me know what you think. Let's run her through. Right? It's got a super spacey vibe to it. Turn that up in the headphones. It's like I stretched this first part out, so I'd imagine just myself at a show, and I love those super long, beautiful moments in between getting down. So that's what I was going for.
Every generation has an obligation to free men's minds for a look at new worlds, to look out from a higher plateau than the last generation.
Sometimes I worry about that being too loud. Turn this up even more. This one I actually did a really good job making sure it wasn't too loud. Right? I feel like it sounds like a space car or whatever. Like you're in outer space and some crazy spaceship just like zooms right past you. The imagery for me in this is so intense. That was absolutely love it. I stretched this drop out too. Right, those bongos might be too loud. That's a thought right there. I'll actually probably turn those down. If you're wearing headphones, there's this intense pan that I put on the bass, so it's like bouncing back and forth between your ears. would be trippy, like on a festival size setup. Right? You gotta run this one twice. That's a debate. I'm like, is that too long to listen to this twice? Because I just copied it. Twice as good. Alright. Thanks, DK. Yeah, I appreciate any input on this. I'm all about that. And like, because I like double stuff up in this kind of first section to kind of like change the pace of the song into this little bass part that I remixed, I cut everything in half, so it gives like a accelerated feel emotionally, I think. Right, tasteful pause. This song lends itself well to those. Just because it's so ambient. Almost makes you feel like you gotta catch your breath for a second. Alright, and now I do double speed on this drop. Or not double speed. Just make it twice as fast as the last one. Hey Maddie. Yo, all hail. Basement to Soul Queen is in the chat. Let's go. Y'all should go follow her. She's about to be affiliate. How's everybody in the chat doing? How you doing, Maddie? What's everybody up to? I know, I'm excited.
It suddenly struck me.
Ooh, playing Elder Scrolls?
Tiny feet, pretty and blue.
Oh,
It's Earth.
that's so sweet.
I put my thumb and shut one eye. And my thought,
Right? This song,
what
like,
about
I like
the
this one the most out of all the ones that I've
I didn't
been
feel like a giant.
working on.
Theory.
Right? It's trippy. It's trippy. Let me put some background music while I talk to you guys. I love this. Alright, some chiller shit. Boom. Alright, everybody. We got 10 minutes left until the show starts. With Laine. I'm excited. This one's gonna be a really cool one. I better pull up my questions here. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, Elder Scrolls. I've never played it before, but I have a lot of friends that play it. I feel like I should get into it. Isn't it kind of like Diablo? Is like the over-the-head kind of 2D, like questing, like that? Yeah. God, I love this song. Alright, where's... It's closer to WoW. In what ways? Are you like going into dungeons trying to get like different pieces of your armor so you can like battle harder things. Is there like any sort of building element or? Okay. And like, what's the deal? Is there like other like factions? Excuse me. Holy shit! I gotta drink some water. Other factions that like you war against? And what's the kind of thing? Is it like mage, like dwarf, same kind of concept as well in that respect? Three major armies. All right, I like that. I like that there's three. So which one's the one that nobody chooses? Yeah, I think it's on Steam, maybe. You can play it as a mom. What's a? I don't get it. Wait, like literally a mom. You could be a mom in the game. Yeah. Oh, okay. Alright, I was like, what a curious build for a character. Like, what does a mom do? Alright, we got about 5 minutes until we get Laine up here. Let's close out of Ableton. Get up into Discord. Let me take care of that. Let's see. I better do this over here for a second. So, you may have just seen that there's some. We're gonna see some cool media today. Just letting you know. I'll wait until it comes up, but I'm pretty excited to show you stuff. Boom. Okay. There we go. Fixed that. Boom. Let's see. I feel like I should do that. Let's do that. Oh, and I can put this overlay on too. I think I gotta get a new overlay for this show. And also, I guess I'll keep this here. But I'll turn that off before I get started with the interview. Overlay. Boom. Alright. Cool. I'll hang out down here just for a second. I can move myself a little bit. Here we go. So I got a new camera. Not this one. Not the one that you can see me on right now. Like this one, when you zoom into this one, it gets like a little grainy. See what I mean? Like up closer, it's a lot better. But the one that I got and I'm using on Discord, much nicer. I want to replace it. The one up there to get the same one. What should you eat? You're super hungry. Mediterranean food? I like Mediterranean food. Could eat a ton of tabbouleh. Love that. Alright. Make that a reasonable size. All right. Perfect. All right. I've been chugging water because I've been not feeling well, so I'm going to use the restroom before I have to sit here for another hour. I'll be right back, guys. Entertain yourselves in the chat. All right, I'm back. Here we go. We are about to get started. I gotta get these foam blocks under my legs so I sit properly because my back's so whack. All right, guys. I think it's about that time. We're so close. It's 6:59. Let me make sure. Let's see. Laine's here. And we can get this thing started. Dab o'clock. All right, guys, we're about to do this. I'll change the camera angles here in a second. Let's see what camera is this? Is it that one? All right, poof. There we go. Let's do this. Laine?
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Let me turn you down a little bit. All right, say something again.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, talking.
Sweet. All right, let's do this. And
Do I have to cue the video?
yes. And let me turn this down a little bit. All right, sweet. You guys, we're here. Welcome to RickTalk, where the minds meet music and the music meets me. And also, I guess where the media meets me. Today, we got Laine Kelley, Shooka, and mixed media. We're about to talk about a lot of cool stuff. This one's going to be extra special, not only because it is the premiere of season 2, but I think for the first time in all of these episodes, we're going to get some really cool insight into something other than like actual music production and shit like that. So, Laine, welcome to the show.
I'm stoked to be here, man. Thanks for having me, and I appreciate you just shining a light on the scene, like as you've done over the years, and now you're doing it on this level, so that's fucking cool.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's crazy for
Yeah.
sure. All right.
Yeah.
So, Laine, like, where are you from right now?
I'm in New Orleans. I'm closer to my original birthplace, which is Florida. I've lived in many, many places. Florida, Chicago, Atlanta, LA, New Orleans.
Nice. Bunch of major places for sure.
Yeah.
So like, what got you in the music scene in the first place? Like, where, when?
I mean, like in high school, I was kind of the oddball out because a lot of my friends, I kind of grew up in the jock world. I was a soccer player, state champion actually. Woo. Yeah. And a lot of my friends were like partying and like getting going with that world in high school, and I was not prepared for that. And I went to like a lot of hardcore metal shows. I got into like that scene, and I was in a
Word.
band.
Nice.
Yeah, and I screamed in a metal band, which is pretty fucking sick. I kind of want to do it now, actually. Yeah, so like.
Do you still have music from that? Did you guys like record music, or is that before that?
It's up on MySpace. I don't know if it's still there. MySpace might be gone, but it's McVeigh FL. But
Right.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool. So I've always been in kind of the art scene. I've always been drawn towards that whole world. Wherever it was, I was kind of there. And and then kind of like left that scene, finished high school up, and then kind of got invited to my first festival in between graduating high school and it was just after college. I was in Orlando, went to film school in in Orlando at Full Sail, and then I went to Gainesville, Florida to film shows. I heard that my buddy was throwing a bunch of shows. He's like, just come film them. So that's what I want to do. And I got invited to my first festival is Bear Creek Festival in Florida at Swanee.
Oh, cool. All right, so that's a sweet place for a first festival.
Yeah, and I did what people do at those festivals, and from the crowd I realized that there was no one there was no one on stage filming it. And at that point the festivals weren't really happening. There wasn't like major festivals. It was like this was the one. It was small. Like there was like a bunch of jam band festivals. There was no like electronic music in it.
When was this? What year?
This is 2008.
Okay.
This is 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the only electronic people at this festival were like Alex B. And
yes.
And like, God, maybe like Zugma or something.
Okay.
Like,
holy shit! Yeah. Like, what the fuck is Zugma? You remember the stickers?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And like I just kind of got entranced by the electronic thing and realized that like I had not danced consecutively for that long, and just realized where I just felt like this massive thing kind of happen, and it wasn't realized yet. I realized it wasn't fully realized.
Yeah. And
from that point forward, I was like, fuck it. If no one's really telling this story yet, like I'll do it. So that was my mission. Just I bring my camera to every festival, everywhere I went. I brought my camera. When I first started, like with just like going to festivals and stuff, I just brought my camera and filmed, and that's what got me involved with the people I've been involved with, and basically just asking me to go on stage. And and then I got work with so and so and so and so and so and so, and then that led me to making my own music, and that led me to getting my hands on CDJs, and just anything that like can like give me space to express myself with. Art's my therapy, so like it's also my fucking work, so it's like so I love it, and it's also like it's a combination of all things, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And art comes in a million different mediums, and for me it's a lot of visual stuff and a lot of music. So
that's like I can totally relate to that, how like art can sometimes be the only thing that like holds space for like a lot of things that are internal that aren't like expressed through your like day-to-day like work grind, trying to make a living, that kind of shit.
Totally. You can say a lot through expressing emotion, through expressing emotion, not necessarily saying stuff. So as many avenues as I can to do that is like, that's my shit.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool that your like videography and visual stuff is kind of growing right now. Like you got a sweet new PC that anybody in the chat would absolutely be so jealous of. Oh, look at that thing. There you go. Oh my gosh, you see that, guys? That's a 3090. If you guys are in the chat and you understand computers, that is just floor.
I see yours right there too. It was pretty fucking fire.
Yeah, I got a little something right there. It's
Awesome
it's,
light. Sorry,
boom.
my beauty.
It's got a little RGB in there, not much. I think we got the same Corsair RAM in there.
Yeah, man, it's cool. I'm fucking pumped about it, and it's really excelled my ability to create. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the most. No amount of money is enough to make that worth it. So it's like, or it's just like every bit of money that I spent on that has opened a door for me completely. So
I bet. Yeah, can you tell us like a little bit about like what you're doing like now that you have all this downtime?
yeah, I mean, I guess I need to frame it in the sense of what my kind of mission was from the beginning, and like I've always been like into the production side of uh, like movies and music videos, mainly music videos. And any movie I'd watch on DVD, I would go to the making of section before I even watched the movie.
Okay.
So like I'm more interested. Like I watched The Mandalorian and I stopped watching it because I realized there's a making of, and they're doing virtual production stuff, and the making of it's more interesting to me than the actual show.
Totally.
So where was I going? What was the question?
Well, we were talking about like now that you got this downtime, you're like getting a little more education in like using that badass
Exactly.
PC you got.
Exactly. So my goal was always to, be involved with the people that inspire me most musically, and touring with them, filming them, and just being around that energy was very important to me.
Yeah.
But really, where I wanted to take it was music videos.
Okay.
And I've been doing music videos over the year, but just not as consistently as I'm touring.
Yeah.
And touring has been a very big part of my income.
Yeah.
And it's always, I knew from the beginning that I do not want to tour for a living. So I'm kind of at the 11-year mark of touring, and I've always kind of told myself that at this time, I'm gonna have to take a step back because I've said everything that I can say in like the recap docu style stuff.
Yeah.
And
it's not as much of an expression now, and you
it's just people can only do that shit so many ways, and no one's there to make a film. Like when I'm out shooting, like no one's there to make a film. I'm the only one, so all I can do is shoot what's in front of me. Like I can't actually create. So
I see.
Yeah, so as much as you try, people are always like at the beginning of tours, like this year's gonna be different. We're gonna do it differently. And that's like everyone's just focused on their shit, and like it doesn't. Yeah. But I feel like in general they've escalated, and I've kind of gotten to the point where I've really said everything I can say. Mm-hmm. And I got into the 3D stuff because that's where I want to take my music video stuff and commercial work, because I look up to directors like Joe Deb and The Bill. These are people that do like you've ever seen like the Skrillex Killa video. It's like an extended video.
Yeah,
he does all his own VFX and all his own like CG. He does all his own matte painting, which is a whole other world. Yeah. But basically, I just respect the people that get the help they need, but in the end, they take it to their machine and make it their art through their knowledge and their creativity and also technical ability.
Yeah. And
it's always been a dream of mine to be at that level. And that's kind of where I'm like setting sail now, is like I'm diving into the world of VFX, CG, 3D motion graphics, and world building. And it's been hard. It's like the hardest thing that I've ever taken on. Like I'm very much the type of person that does what they're good at and kind of like sticks in that world. Mm-hmm. But now I'm 30 or 31 actually. I just turned 31, and things change. You get older and you start to realize that like challenges are good, learning is tight, and like expanding is amazing if you can push through. And there's never an end goal. It's just a constant state of being open to learning and not being so full of yourself that you know it all, because you never fucking do. Yep. And all you can do is be inspired by others and inspire others. And so now I'm at that very beginning phase of really taking it upon myself to learn the hard shit, the shit that I'm not naturally good at.
Yeah, so. That's impressive. That's gonna be really cool to actually like have gone through the experience of like learning all of this really hard shit, how you'll be able to express yourself. And I think the interesting thing for you might be like, I don't know how you think about what you're going to do with that shit now, but I bet you after learning all this shit, that vision will probably change and you'll have like a whole different style of work or something like that. I think it's going to be super exciting for you, man.
Yeah.
And for us
Yeah,
too, to get to see that, right? Because we're going to see that shit on like on screens at shows, right? Is that the goal?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's part of it. Honestly, I don't want to kind of compartmentalize it in any way. I just want to use my abilities in every way possible.
Okay.
But yeah, show content's definitely one of them. And I think with what I've already done show content wise, it's only going to get better from this point forward. But I think the main thing is like music videos, man. I want to fucking take this shit out of this world and make music videos that are, you know, just not pointing a camera at something. I want to take the viewer on a ride more so than what I could have done in the past. So
is that going to be involving like directing music videos?
Yeah.
Well?
I mean, I've been kind of in this guerrilla style business model for a while, and it's a matter of survival.
Yeah.
And but I'm, as of recently, really wanting to ask for more help, get more support, and not be the only person like running around carrying lights, carrying a camera, telling the talent where to go, and like I just gotta like slow down and like be more, let people that know what they're doing handle everything else while I focus on the overarching vision of it.
For sure.
So that's where I'm at now, and it's exciting, man. I appreciate you even seeing it and realizing it.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious because music videos are something that you want to do. Have you done any yet?
Tons. Yeah. Do you want to throw up that reel?
Yeah. Let's take a look at it. All right, guys. We have. Let's see. Where did I put that? Let's see. Where did I put that? Hold on. I gotta do some stuff in Discord here. Where's the little pop out thing? All right. Exit full screen. Pop out.
I've done a bunch of them over the years, but I'm trying to take it to a different level now. Hopefully.
Yeah, right. I'm sure you will, dude. It's crazy because like you're very humble for how ambitious you are, and I think that's
dude, you have to be.
You're just gonna keep driving, my dude.
It's not about rising above anybody else. It's about literally like I just feel like you have to optimize the life you have, and if you have a sense of what it is that you're good at, go at it 1,000%.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I've been through my 20s. I fucking party. Like I've done it. You know, like I don't need to like do. I'm kind of like, I don't necessarily need to be at every festival, every rave, every cool party anymore. Even though you all should, if you are feeling that call, everyone should. But like I just did it for so long that like now I'm just like I'm more focused on like just like really optimizing my business and my profession.
Right. Yeah, I know. Like for me, I'm trying to find a way to like integrate the things that like I like in a sustainable way. You know, like you go through all those kind of emotions going to shows and stuff like that. It's nice to try to maybe pursue something that captures that same feeling, but like not partying, you know? So yeah.
Well, if you're so saturated, it just becomes meaningless and it loses its specialness. So it's just about rounding out. And like, honestly, I'm not trying to talk shit on it at all. I love going to these things and partying and sending it and doing all the stuff. But for the most part, it's just, and from my perspective, it's just, I feel like I've really squeezed it dry.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I'm 32, and I feel that for sure. It's like you definitely feel a lot older than when you went like when you were young.
It's tight to make it a treat, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I know. I'm trying to be selective about that. That one festival got announced in Mexico. I forget what it is. Maybe I think someone in the chat knows. but I was like, I'm entertaining it, but then I'm like, but what else better is gonna come out? You know, like I can't just keep going up. I see a bunch of music. All right, so let me pause this, and I'm gonna pull up this film reel right here.
Yeah. So this is like from 2019. It's not old, but it's I think it'll help give people perspective of like just the body of work that like is behind me.
Sweet. All right. And it looks like it's pretty much loaded all the way up. I'm gonna send it. Actually, volume. All right. Let's do this.
You gotta share the screen.
Sorry, Laine, in the chat. You can see it.
Oh, okay, it's all good.
Damn. That is so crazy. Gosh, that was so emotive. Oh my god. Chat, how
Sick.
crazy was that? Holy shit, Laine, that's so impressive. That's
Thanks,
so
man.
impressive. Yeah, holy cow.
Like-
It's interesting too, because there's like a lot of, I wouldn't say they're like colliding because you put them together so beautifully, but there's like, it's like shows and then these like super artsy like things that have nothing to do with music, and like I'm so impressed, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, it's just content in general, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I appreciate. Yeah, thanks.
So I saw.
Emotive is a great word. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we saw some cool people. So like I guess like we haven't even mentioned like some of I guess the names that Laine has done like really cool videography shit for. Like we saw Grizz in there a couple times. We saw Pretty Lights, I think. I saw some stuff at Burning Man. I think I went to see you like in the middle of the playa. It was an art car that you were playing on, like was it Space Robot or
Oh yeah, the astronaut.
Yes, that one. Dancernauts, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was like prime in the middle of like those 9 days or however long everybody was there for, and I remember being so excited for that shit. That was
and there was like
one of the
50
highlights.
people there, maybe. It was
Yeah.
still so awesome.
Yeah, dude. That's what I love about those kind of like situations out there. It's just each little place has its vibe, and it's just like everybody's
Yeah.
so into it, even if it's like a small group. Yeah, that was something. Yeah, you and did you made like a little thing for Grant on Burning Man, I think.
Yeah, we've done 2 together now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he books his Red Rock show that same weekend, and it's just like it's so hard to choose. So yeah, the past year I had to skip it, and I heard it was his best one yet. But
Yeah.
I
That's
love
what
the
everybody
fucking
says.
I love the Playa, man. So it's tough, and
Mhm.
I love Grizz Rock. So it's just you're just stuck.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah, you can't like trying to do both of them back to back is like you don't want to do that.
dude, if I'm going to the Playa, I'm gonna be there for fucking 7 days, man. I'm not gonna fucking like I've done 2 days. It's a tease.
Oh, you just go in and out, like you fly in and out, or
We did one year. We did one year where we just went in, did 2 days, slept in a teepee, no AC, and got out. And,
yeah. Oh my gosh, brutal.
yeah,
That's
Grizz
so
sleeping
rough.
in a teepee.
That's
Yeah.
like so rough, man. That's just that is. I
Well, we
feel for
didn't
you
know.
guys.
It was our first year. It
Of
was our
course,
first.
yeah. That's like I guess they say that's kind of how it's supposed to be and shit. You know, it's still so beautiful regardless of like all that other shit.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
the memories are
The
all
best
good.
party on the planet, and
Mhm.
it's where human beings on a soul level come to fucking hang out and really do some different shit. And for those
Yeah.
of you who haven't gone, I would highly suggest doing it just because as a human being, experiencing that on this planet is like it kind of dwarfs everything, which is kind of
Yeah.
sad, but at the same time, it really gives you perspective of what human beings are capable of. So
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't have put it better, man. That shit, it still lives with me like every day. Like trying to be part of the person that I was allowed to be there. You know,
yeah, exactly.
it's so
Yeah,
legit. Shambhala had not like it's you can't put him on the same level, but that's like the one festival that I've been to because they don't allow drinking there. I think that's it. And
they don't have a bar. Yeah, they don't have a bar.
no, and you can't bring your own alcohol. They like they search for everything, and they will leave you to all your like sketchy things and whatnot. Not,
Yeah, I hear
don't
you.
quote me on this. You know, like, sorry, but they'll find your alcohol and dump it out, and so nobody's drinking. They're just on other things, and they have all these spaces that facilitate the use of things safely, and so the vibe there has like a similar level of caring and understanding, and that I feel like it's the most. It's like diet Burning Man, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
if you
did
ever
one,
get the
I
chance,
did one full night at Shambhala, and boy, was it amazing.
damn, that's such a tease. Like that must be
Yeah.
an interesting part about doing that kind of videography. Is just like you're not there to enjoy the festival. You're just there to work. So you go for these short little bursts and then move on. Is like
Yeah, and instead and that after a long night, instead of going back to your campsite or going back to your RV and turning in, you
Yeah.
get in a van and go to the fucking airport.
ugh,
After you know that everyone knows that feeling
yeah,
of that like 6 a.m. like all right like
yep.
yeah
You're being like
And there's
forced
been-
against your will, basically.
yeah you get in the car, you go to the airport, and you have a layover.
Oof.
So if all y'all want to get in the music industry,
Yeah, right. I know. It's like so glamorous, like at the festival and shit. Like I remember, you know, like when you get to like meet artists and cool people like you, there's like
Thank
such a
you.
whimsy that like surrounds like, oh, what a cool like way to live your life. I wish I could like be around artist X or whatever all the time. Like, but it comes at a price, you know, like your sleep and like your free will.
relationships,
Sometimes.
man,
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah. I know. Like, what's the longest tour that you've been on?
3.5 Cherub tour,
Months. Or-
3.5 months.
Yeah, and that's what like every other day or.
Yeah, like 4 on, 2 off, 1 on, then 4 back on.
That's
Yeah.
brutal. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I mean it's my life, you know. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but like
Yeah,
it's
it's
cool.
rugged.
Yeah, it's definitely yeah. I mean, I wouldn't trade it, and you are right. It is fun, and it is very much like it's a pace. And the best part about it is you're with a team of people that are with you, so it keeps you at pace. Like if
Yeah,
you couldn't be operating at that pace if you were home. Like if you were home
yeah,
and someone was like, you have to do this much in this amount of time, you wouldn't be able to do it.
yeah.
But the fact that you're with like a ship of people that are working at this pace,
Mm-hmm.
just an interesting way and like of life. And like I always, that's what I mean, like but I just know that feeling of like being a fan and like seeing someone come to your town and like be there. And like it's so important for me too when people like recognize me or just even acknowledge that I'm part of something they're stoked on, that like I give them that moment as
Mm-hmm.
hard as I can, because I just it's so important, because it's like we're there for a day and they're there for their whole lives, and that night might mean a lot to them, that like they're going to see someone that they haven't seen in a while or whatever. And like I don't know, that's what.
Like,
And like anytime anybody needs help with like just getting like a ticket or just getting in, like something happened, like I don't know, I just know what it's like to be on that other side of it. And like
yeah,
I've just I've like the power that I have in some weird way is like the power that everyone has if like they're coming at it from like a real place in their heart. I will always like help and like facilitate
yeah,
what it is that like I can do from my perspective, because it's like, dude, like if you don't work in this industry and you don't have like some access that you want, or just say hello, or just be part of like a little community that you like look up to or whatever,
mm-hmm.
dude, you hanging out with us is awesome because you validate our mission. So it's
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I just
yeah.
like, so
It's weird because
it's,
there's like very human experiences on both sides, even though like you might not like understand like where somebody's at. You know, it's like you want to be that like superstar, and that superstar is like equally as grateful to like see you be appreciative of shit. You know, and it's
well,
like
you can't have,
we're all,
yeah,
you
you
know,
can't be granted success via yourself. You have to be granted it from the outside world a little bit. So it's
mm-hmm.
like, it's a two-way street. And like any artist isn't gonna be able to have like a career or have any type of recognition that moves their work forward or their financial situation forward without people recognizing and appreciating it. So
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like the humbleness you meant, it has not, like, to me, and the people I surround myself with too, thank God, it's just like it's not it has nothing to do with that, like above anything. It's just we do what we do as like creative individuals, and we're thankful that we have an audience in
yeah,
some way.
yeah,
So,
totally.
and yeah, and the people we surround ourselves with just work really hard, so it makes us work
Yeah,
hard.
yep, yeah.
So,
I know. I can say the same thing about a lot of the staff that we have at Base Feeds of Soul. I know they're lighting up the chat right now, and I'm just pretty engaged with talking to you, so I've been kind of ignoring them. But so, like, it, I guess I don't know how personal I can go, but like, I felt like all right, one thing, I think I was really sad when I found out that you stopped touring with Pretty Lights, but then you started touring with Grant, and that made me happy.
yeah,
Is that like? I felt like you did have been doing stuff with Grant for the longest time, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
is
yeah.
that just like because like you found like such a dope crew of humans? Because that's what I sense out of all of it, that it's like less work with them.
Well, I mean, not yeah. I mean, I can see why that comes to mind. Honestly, what it really is about is the come up together. When I started with Pretty Lights, he was already Pretty Lights.
Yeah, yeah,
When I started with Grizz, he was not the Grizz that we have today.
yeah, yeah,
So, and I was not established, I guess, as I am today. And the thing with Grizz is like we were kids coming up together. And when I first met Derek and the Pretty Lights crew, I was the kid in a professional crew.
yeah,
So I was a bit behind, and now it's better because now when I hang out with Derek and stuff, now that we've both been through the big parts of our career that we can kind of like go back to now. It's not as like it just happening or beginning, you know?
Yeah.
It's much more equal playing field.
Yeah, that's good. It's
Yeah,
gotta
so
be
it's
kind
like,
of like rewarding for you to feel like you like grown. It's like it's shown you that you grew, you know, because you're like on that
definitely.
level now.
Yeah, and thankfully everyone, yeah, it's just cool seeing how just the journey's played out, and like how I've been definitely lucky enough to be around real motherfuckers
Yeah.
and like people that are just doing it because they love it, and it's not because they like chose it, it's because they had to do it. And that's something that we all have in common, that
Yeah.
we didn't really have a choice. This is something that we were drinking, sleeping, and doing it. We were going to sleep. I like, this is a good example. I was going to sleep with my camera like every night, like literally every night for years in my bunk on tour. Like I was sleeping with my camera, like.
Just
And
is that because like you just like you film until you sleep, you film when you wake up, like that kind of vibe?
well, I was scared to miss it.
Yeah.
I was scared to miss it. If I put my camera away, it was underneath the bus in the bay, and I can't get to it if like something happens in the morning and we're still driving and something cool happens. Like,
sure.
that's what I mean.
That poses like a interesting question. Like, do you ever have a moment that you wish you captured in all these like experiences, or do you feel like you did everything that you wanted to do when it comes to that?
Well, when I first started out, I would bring my camera everywhere obsessively, and honestly, it was good for a while. And the older I got, and the more I got engaged in being paid to do it, I honestly made points to not bring my camera and purposely watch something with my eyes instead of my camera.
That's
because,
deep.
I mean, dude, like if you have a camera in your face and you're constantly in your own world, I like duck and dive between like people in the crowd, and like I just like, you know, like I'm in my own space, like I'm here, I'm there, I'm like fucking. My friends, even like my friends from high school, whatever, come to shows, and I like always go out and say hi to them or whatever. And then like we'll be hanging out, and then all of a sudden they'll tell me that like they'll text me and be like, dude, like I turned around to keep talking to you, all of a sudden you were on stage. So it's like I'm just like my head is just but like as a filmer and as like a creative as a whole, I've really learned, and I bet I'll learn with this 3D stuff soon, that like you have to turn it off, or else you're not gonna have any juices to do it. And like with the filming stuff, there was moments where I wish I was filming like tons of New Year's spots times when the ball was dropping, and I wish I was somewhere else or something, you know. Just wish I just picked the wrong spot or whatever. But I always knew that like no matter what, I was in the right spot, because I just don't want to have that on my conscience that I like didn't do it right. You know. And sure. Also just like like watching things with my eye, experiencing something for myself rather than capturing it is important. So it's how I've learned along the way to like experience it, not document it, you know.
Yeah, right. I know it's like interesting what happens when you kind of bring money into the creative process, because it makes you do things you wouldn't necessarily be doing, and like it's not always sustainable unless that's what you want to be doing. So it's good to see that you're like cognitive of the fact that you gotta also enjoy these moments. Like the reason that you do this shit like is the music, you know, and it takes time to absorb that shit, you know, and you can't do that through a lens. I mean, you can, but
you always got to revisit. You always got to revisit your child self. Like you always got to revisit the natural things that stoke you. Like you can't just be. You gotta like revisit why it is. Why do I film? Like why is that? It's because I was interested in it as a kid. And like the interest alone doesn't necessarily make me have to do it all the time. Like I don't know. I just feel like as the older I get and the more engulfed in my own shit I get, I have to like revisit my child self and just enjoy things, you know, rather than be part of it or whatever. Like, so it's a learning process, and I'm definitely still learning, and I always will be. But with the filming stuff, man, like I really had to put it away for a while. So. And when and there was moments where I was like, fuck, I should have my camera. And I was like, if you had your camera right now, there wouldn't be a moment without your camera. And when's the last time you enjoyed a show?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's awesome. Well, I'm sure that like now that you've had like quite some time away from actually doing that, it'll probably be a little more refreshing to get behind the lens and like be in those moments. I mean, even though you'll still be able to enjoy the show, I'm sure it'll be nice to feel like you can craft again, you know, like you can make some art, you know, in these moments, and it's not like it's so overbearing to you.
Yeah. I mean, before the pandemic, I was really wondering how I was going to slow my life down to like grow, because it was just happening so fast that like gigs would come up, I would have to fly here, there, and I would never have time to like assess. And sure as hell, I got the slowdown, same as everybody else. So, but it's a huge blessing for sure. But yeah, man. But yeah, and then the same thing with CDJs, man. When I first got a hold of them, I would just obsess over them, be on them every single morning. Like I would practice all the time. And then it got to the point where I was like, if there were CDJs around, I have to be playing. But then then I realized that like, you know what? Watch other fucking DJs do it.
Yeah.
And like everyone watches people do it, but like when you know how to DJ, you watch it differently. Same with like movies.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
you can tell when someone's
like,
just got their hands on it and they're not doing anything, and like.
Yeah, and like it's just so cool to see how people pick music, play music, have their own style behind CDJs, and like I've just learned along the way too with that. It's just like you don't have to fucking get your USB in the slot every fucking time, and like there's people that are just like, if they're CDJs, like you have to get in the slot, and then all of a sudden you have 10 minds on a pair of CDJs, and like it never catches a flow because everyone's just like trying to get in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's the same goes with everything, but it's just something I've learned along the way that like, in order to grow, you have to like slow down, take a big macro view of everything, and then go back at it with like a better sense of like, where are you at? What have you done? What is it you can improve on? Honestly, like what are you?
Yeah, that's probably the hardest part, is being honest with yourself in that process. So you mentioned the CDJs, man. We haven't spoken about Shooka shit at all yet. Mm-hmm. So when did, in this whole like time that 11 years you've been doing touring videography, when did the whole CDJ starting to do Shooka, like producing and DJing and stuff?
Yeah. Honestly, I did Skrillex tour in Europe with just their crew and Sonny and just that whole pack. Yeah, it was sick. It was when he had the fucking spaceship and he brought it overseas and like brought it to every fucking show, and like, I was just like, this is
what? Hold on, I'm gonna Google this for everybody. Spaceship, huh? Can you keep telling the story while I do that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a stage. It's amazing. But anyway, he just had CDJ, like his rider was CDJs in the green room, and anywhere he went, he had CDJs in the green room when we arrived. Like they were set up, speakers, everything. So he was playing before he played, and then after he got off stage, he would play, and his friends would play. We would all hang out, and someone would be on the decks all the time. And so after I got off that tour, I was like, what is the deal with like DJing all the time? And it's really not even about DJing all the time. It's just having the ability to like party in like not like raging, but like have the ability to like have the music on and have friends play music while you're hanging out.
Yeah.
So then I got on Cherub tour after that, and Jason on Cherub CDJs as well, but he had them on the bus all the time, and all like I was just like, we should put these in the green room every stop and like fuck around on them, just have them out. And he was into it, and he taught me how to CDJ pretty much, or just like let me tinker enough to then play. And then the same thing happened with Grizz Tour. Grizz Tour comes around and he has CDJs, and all of a sudden I don't even know if it was my idea or if that's just how the culture kind of gradually evolved, but CDJs were just around all the time.
Sweet.
And Grant kind of helped me see how he's CDJs, and we played in the green room, and like we invited friends in the back after the shows to hang out, and we like threw after like shows, like green room throwdowns, and like all of a sudden I was just DJing with like big DJs.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So I had to like keep up and like DJ the way they did, otherwise I'd fall behind. Or
Sure.
like, so yeah, and then all of a sudden Grant and I caught a real good flow. Jason and I catch a flow too, but he DJs long form. He mixes long form.
Yeah, he doesn't like to cut hard.
No,
Yeah.
and like Grant's like fast,
Mm-hmm.
and both taught me a lot. But I feel like naturally I DJ at Grant's pace. Yeah, so I just learned through fire and got taught by some of the best, and yeah, I just love to DJ as well, and like I love playing music. So
right, I know it's a fun creative expression, and I think that the cool thing about CDJs now is like I think that they took care of a lot of the things that are normally problems, like playing things in the same key and like queuing things up, and you know they can find like things in the waveform, like you can see the waveforms, so you can actually, you know, make precise moves. And I find that even if you're like just running through somebody else's selection of music, like you can always like get it bumping, you know,
you
like,
can,
whatever it is, which is really cool. It's so accessible, you know.
Yeah, it's it's like just a computer in a different and specifically for playing music.
Yep.
And yeah, like yeah, I got my hands on New Year's the newest ones, and I'm just like, this is a fucking spaceship.
This year you did
the 3000s, yeah.
Crazy. I don't even know what those look like. I keep googling things. The chat can see them. What are they?
The 3000 CDJ Nexus 3000.
CJ 3000.
The screen's like
crazy.
Like
oh my gosh, that's so. Like, is it like you got multiple ones of them?
Yeah, it's like what?
You got like multiple, like a full setup, like two of them with the mixer, or like
no?
Just the
a buddy
one?
of mine did. A buddy of mine has them, and we used them on New Year's. And I have the 2000s Nexus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I got my hands on the new ones, and I'm like, dude, these things are.
That's crazy. Wow, that's impressive. Like, oh my god, so jealous. Very costly though. Holy shit, does that cost so much?
Yeah, I didn't buy them. They're not mine.
Right?
Yeah,
it's crazy. The one thing at Burning Man that always blows my mind is the amount of CDJs, like everywhere on everything. Like it doesn't matter whether it's like a bike or an art car or just underneath somebody's tent, and everybody's so chill. You know, like that's one thing that I was super into producing music when I was going to Burning Man, and so I never like brought around USBs with tracks to like party, which I wish I did there. That would have been so much fun.
Yeah, it's fun to get on a little art car and just get yourself carted around while you play some music.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so back to the Shooka stuff. So what kind of genre is Shooka? It's like house, right?
I love house music.
Yeah.
I would say the better genre would be psychedelic bass music.
Okay. And like what tempo
it
normally?
Any tempo.
Okay.
Yeah. Originally Shooka was very much house.
Yeah.
But
that's like kind of how I remember Shooka.
Yeah, I really like DJing house music. But when I go to produce, actually house music is the hardest thing for me to produce, actually.
Same.
So I don't know, like that's why it's hard for the Shooka project to like kind of like consolidate itself into like a producing project, because I produce whatever I'm feeling, and what I'm feeling typically isn't house music when it comes to being behind it in front of Ableton.
Yeah, same.
It just doesn't work as well for me. I really like 87 BPM, producing at 80.
Okay.
Drum and bass, halftime.
All right.
Drum and bass.
It's all right. It's halftime for drum and bass. I think, God, one time we were at the Belly Up to see Derek. It was like after Telluride when like Mike was down there. I don't know if you were like following him around at that time.
I don't
It was
think I've never
after
been to
Red
Telluride.
Rocks. Okay.
There.
And my buddy got Derek handed him like his MPD or something like that, and he wrote on it with Sharpie like 90 BPM, and then he asked him why he wrote that, and he's like, it's because it's like the resting heart rate or whatever. So when you play music at that level, it vibes with your body more. I don't know if it's true, but I was wondering, is that why you make music at 87? Is that because it's like the way that
No, I just like
you
because it can feel fast and be slow at the same time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear like
Yeah,
your set later, for sure.
I actually got a handful. The back end's a bit, yeah.
Sweet, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Man, so like, I guess we can kind of. I haven't even looked at the chat. Yo, Anna, thanks for the sub. Thanks everybody for being here, enjoying this conversation that I'm having with Laine. If you guys got any questions for Laine, maybe about video stuff, artists that he's worked with, I'll look into the chat and see. But for now, I'm kind of wondering, like, do you have like a favorite moment, like a favorite Grizz moment, I guess, to try and isolate moments? Like when it doesn't have to necessarily be like work related. Like maybe you guys like doing like the shiz stuff or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean honestly, like I think when I think about my favorite parts of just like the past decade of doing what I've been doing and being around the people I've been around, is just like the fact that you can do what it is that you want to do if you apply yourself wholeheartedly and really believe that you will be that person. And I don't mean to like kind of like give you the runaround of your question, but like
No.
I just remember in college getting a hold of the scene and realizing that this whole music scene is kind of untapped. There's no festivals yet. There's none of it really. There's Bonnaroo and stuff. There's no like festivals. Like
yeah.
And I got a whiff of Pretty Lights for the first time.
Yeah.
And I knew that like who I am and my artistic style could match his music really well. So I literally meditated in bed every night in college.
Yeah.
And visualized myself filming for Pretty Lights.
Sick.
Every night. Every fucking night. So times goes by, and it actually sounds like the name of a Pretty Lights song.
It is. Yeah, we've been listening to Pretty Lights in the background the whole time.
Yeah, and Michael Menner, Mimosa, and Too Fresh were playing in Tallahassee. I emailed them saying I will drive up to film. All you got to do is pay for my gas and my tapes. I was filming on tape then.
Wow.
But the skate cam, like, yeah.
Quick intersection here. You used to skate, so is that like why you had that style of camera? Or yeah. Okay, cool. All right, keep going. So you were filming on film, and you just manifested, or you were Tallahassee, Menor, Fresh to Death.
Yeah, and a guy that was working with Michael Menor saw me filming, and he was also a skate kid and watched me film. And at the end of the show, he comes up to me and was like, "What are you gonna do with that footage?" I was like, "I'm gonna edit it and like I'll send it to you guys." He's like, "Cool. Well, what do you think about coming to Chicago for Pretty Lights New Year's?" And I'm like, yeah. He's like, "Well, just send me the edit and we'll talk about it." Sent them the edit, whatever. He's like, "Okay, cool. Like, we're gonna get you to Chicago for the Pretty Lights show."
Damn.
For New Year's. And I was 20 at the time.
Shit.
And time goes by, don't have my flight, trying to figure out if this is real.
Yeah.
still waiting on my flight. It's like the 28th. It's a New Year's show. I'm like, still don't have my flight.
Holy
and all of a
shit.
sudden I still have the email actually. I get an email saying with my flight, and it's like with Derek in the thread, and his assistant bought the flight.
Wow.
And all of a sudden I'm like, this is real. This is why I say, like, when you say what your favorite moment is, I encapsulate it in this moment, but it actually is every moment, because bringing in what you want in your life and like believe, like, there's certain things that obviously are outside the realm of what it is that you can do, right? Like, I'm not gonna become an astronaut, like, no matter how much I say. But I'm saying, if you wholeheartedly believe that you are this person that you see yourself as, and if you don't go that for 100%, you will never know what life is actually, how much life is actually available to you.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that, like, what my favorite moment is how much that proved to me that, like, manifesting and bringing in the life you want is literally just beyond working a little bit harder or believing a little bit more. And I just feel like that's by far the most important thing I've learned in this journey, is just fucking believe in yourself.
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
fucking just go for it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Because, yeah, I mean, there'll be times past that moment that feel like you lost it or whatever, but, like, I don't know, man. I just, ever since that, I'm like, dude, like, let's fucking go. Like, I will work as hard as I can always in order to ensure that, like, my dreams are fulfilled. And, like, I just want that for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's like
that's where your question took me.
That's so awesome. That's like such a cool way to answer that question. Like, and you can definitely see it. Like, you know, obviously, like, you've achieved a lot. I think you've achieved a lot. You know, but you can also see it in your determination. It's gonna be really exciting, because I think, like, when you live that way, you're presented with opportunities, right? And so, like, you know, it's like you got to believe and you got to work hard, but also, like, take advantage of opportunities when they come your way. And so I'm excited to see what that's going to be for you, like the next one that changes everything. Do you speculate, like, what that might be? Is it just like making music videos for like a A-list celebrity, or or is that
to be
a hard
honest,
thing to think about?
Yeah,
right?
now I'm more open to, like, precisely what I want. I mean, I've toured with everybody I want to tour with. I've worked with pretty much every artist I've wanted to work with so far. I mean, I can obviously move up the scale of the pop world, but honestly, I'm more just open. I'm less, like, single-minded in what I want to, like, who I want to be working with, and I'm less single-minded in that regard, but I'm more single-minded in what I want to be doing for my company with whoever wants to work with me now.
Yeah.
I want to have more ownership of my creativity and what I offer, rather than who I am associated with and working with. So my main goal now is just manifesting the work at the level that I want it to be at, and that will bring in any clients now. Like, it's not as important now. It's like, it's like, if work comes my way and I'm able to apply my creativity and my knowledge and my profession, then, like, that's a manifestation of where I'm trying to go now.
Yeah.
Is, like, being more of an entity and a brand, rather than just like a single person with a camera on tour.
Yeah.
So,
damn, that's like such a great way to explain that too. So, like,
thanks, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, I think I'm thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's really well thought out, with a lot of room to, you know, like, a lot of wiggle room, like room to grow in one direction or another, and just believing that, like, as long as you're taking steps forward, you might not know where they're going, but it's a good place, you know. I love that. So Maddie in the chat was wondering, like, what's your most wild tour moment?
All of Cherub Tour, every single one I've been on.
Yeah, why is that? Did they just go hard, or what?
They're, like, the most genuine and nicest people in the world, but boy, do they know how to fucking party.
Yeah.
And do they know how to, like, bring the best out of people and invite everyone and include everyone while also making sure that the nonsense is like through the roof.
Sweet.
So like if the most, I mean, dude, like just go and watch any of the Cherub Tour videos that I've done. Just go on YouTube and type in like Heartbreaker or Lifesaver, and you'll just see everything, and that will answer your question, no
All
doubt.
right. Sweet. Yeah, you guys in the chat, go check that out. Crazy, Laine. This has like been wild that we just been shooting this shit for almost a whole hour right now. I
Man.
love it.
We play music.
Let's we can wrap things up in just a little bit. Collective Unconscious, yo, thanks for stopping by, bud. That's another guy that makes really good music. Like nobody knows who this guy is, but his music is amazing. So this actually makes me think about one thing. So you were saying about house music and how it's harder to produce for you. It is the same for me, and I find that house music, because it's, I guess, a little more simple in some ways, its value comes from like the production of the noises and stuff like that, and that's where I struggle. Is that like why you don't make house music, or it's just like, or you don't?
Well, I make it, but I don't get it to the point that I'm like satisfied with it, and I think it's because I'm not fully confident in my producing ability. And house music, good house music, is all about subtlety and taking away and adding. And I don't think I mean, I might be able to like shoot you over tunes and be like, these are done, but I don't think they're done, you know? I'm like, I don't think that like, so like when it comes to house music, I just feel like I'm just not confident in like the subtle grace of like tension and release in that genre that like makes me confident of like just cranking out tunes. Yeah, I don't know. Something about house music is just like build it, like creating a good build is so hard.
I totally struggle with that like all the time, and I keep trying, but man, it really does make you appreciate it even more when you hear like a good house track, because you're like, damn, like, yep, like you know what you're doing. Very envious of that.
Control is professional. Like when you have control over your shit, that's when you know someone's a pro. And like I just don't have that control over, honestly, producing yet, but I will. But DJing is more my shit.
I like it a little more free flowing, and
I'm a picker, man. I like to pick music, you know. Curate. Rather, I'm just not as confident in my producing ability. But sometimes I am. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I fucking crushed this. But for the most part, no, I'm not like, and I'm surrounded by amazing producers, so my like standard is like too high.
I know it's probably daunting, but also like I bet you it innately brings you up to a higher level because you are around like such high-minded concepts and ideas and workflows and things like that.
Yeah, man. People, you kind of become the people you surround yourself with, you know. And like I'm just around people that work. Honestly, Skrillex tour taught me something about work ethic that I will never ever forget. Like that dude works harder than anyone knows.
Wow. I guess his persona doesn't necessarily like come. I guess you wouldn't associate those things, even though you could totally believe it. You know.
He just ticks, man. He just makes stuff all the time. And like,
quick too, bro. I saw that Wakarusa sometime back, and he had this like weird little square thing, and it had like knobs and buttons. It wasn't like an MPC or anything like that I've ever seen before. And like at the end of his set, he's like literally for like 2 minutes, he's just like going back and forth with these knobs, like and everyone's like freaking out, but it's really kind of disconnected. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey guys, I just want you to know I just made a song right now and I'm about to play it for you." Like in those little moments when he was doing that shit, and that made me like super impressed. Just and so I can totally
It sets a
understand
bar.
that
It sets
he
a
works
bar.
on another level.
Yeah, it
That's
sets a
nice.
bar. And if you're around it, you're like, I'm not working hard at all. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome. So, guys in the chat, are you guys ready to see Laine play a set as Shuka, or what? Like, this has been such a fun
I'm
interview.
ready to play
Holy
some
shit,
music.
this is awesome. So, like,
Thanks, man.
yeah,
I'm,
dude, I,
I'm glad.
it's crazy.
Glad you reached out.
Outside of this, I would love to like keep chatting with you, or maybe do like another part two, because you're just a
Yeah.
very interesting guy, and I
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
your time, man, for sure. It's been great.
Oh, no worries at all. Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out, man. I just feel like, yeah, the line needs to be, more available. Like, I don't necessarily think of myself as someone that's as sought after as the people I surround myself with. But if people know and are into it, like, I'm so excited to like talk and like help people in any way I can
Hell
in
yeah.
their personal journey of like whatever it is that. Just because, like I said, man, I want people to like believe in themselves.
Yeah,
Just because if everyone did, it'd be crazy.
I know, right? Like actually, truly, yeah. Your journey is certainly a testament to that, man. I'm sure that
Thank you.
a lot of people in the chat were super inspired by your story. Like, if you guys joined us later on in the program, like, I highly recommend you go back and watch the VOD of this video. I'm recording this, so this will be on YouTube, and I am so glad I recorded this, because this has been just like phenomenal, man. I'm so just blown away, to be honest, man, and super stoked to be able to do this with the friend that I feel connected to you, even though our experiences are limited. I appreciate that, man. It's cool to, be inspired by you as somebody that's like was already so cool to me. Like, a lot of the things that like stand out in my mind are like when I would go like say hi to you at a show or something like that. Like, that would look, I would feel like the coolest guy ever, because I know someone like on stage or on the other side of the fence, and you definitely created a lot of really cool, unique moments I'm thankful for, and especially this one today. So
yeah, it just there's no real separation. It's just what it is that we do. As you get to go to shows and I get to work them.
Yeah, love it, dude. I love it, man. So I guess like before we go over to your show, you got some closing remarks, like things you want to shout out, things of that nature.
If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, Mixed Media and Shooka_music, and keep up with all that shit. Yeah, man. And just overall, like, if you just follow me on that and want to reach out or just have any questions at all, I always answer people, and I'm always there. And yeah, and especially right now, if I just feel like in general, like just like feeding off of each other's energy to make it through this shit is like is key. So
yeah, man.
If I may need some, I definitely did need some. I'm on a little bit of a high as of lately, but for a while I was feeling pretty down, and thank God my community and my support was there. So I'm just saying, if anybody's feeling that same way, like, I feel you, and you got people that care. So
hell yeah, man. That's awesome that you're cultivating the space for that, and like so stoked that we could share that energy here with Bass Feeds the Soul. Fucking, this is like probably it just feels like the craziest RickTalk. Like, I can't believe that I'm gonna have to live up to a show that's better than this, because this has just been so good, man. Like, I appreciate your time, man. So I guess, guys, what we're gonna have you all do, everybody in the chat, we're gonna switch over so Laine can stream, so we can see this Shooka set. He is gonna take over the channel, and we're gonna need everybody to refresh in a little bit. How long can we expect?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay, cool, guys. Well, man, shout outs to all the staff at Bass Feeds the Soul. I love you guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me
thanks
do
everyone
this.
for helping with this. Yeah.
Thank you, Laine. You
Yeah,
guys go
thank you.
check out Mixed Media. That's his Instagram. And then what was the other shout out?
Shooka_music.
Cool. All right. And that's for
Instagram
as well. All
and
right.
Twitter.
Cool.
LK Mixed Media on Twitter, but I can't say I'm the biggest tweeter. So
Yeah. Fair enough. Sweet. Well, I'm sure everybody will be stoked to connect with you out there. You guys go drop them a follow. Laine, we'll see you in just a little bit. I'm gonna close out with the chat here.
sick. I'm gonna keep my computer next to me, so just let me know if anything goes down with the sound that I may not be able to recognize. All right.
Sure. Yeah.
Just hit me on the Facebook.
Before you you can start in 2 minutes, and I'm gonna close up the stream here in the next 30 seconds. So we'll see you, man. All right.
All right. Sick.
Take care.
Hell yeah.
Peace.
Later.
All right, guys. Well, this has been RickTalk, where the minds meet music, and the music and the media meets me. Next episode, second Thursday of every month. That's when these are going down. I also do another series on this channel called Ableton Adventures. That's every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And with that said, thank you guys all for tuning in. We appreciate all the subs, all the loves, the follows, everything. This has just been such a great stream, and it's not over yet. We are about to get into a performance by Shooka, Laine Kelley, our boy who was just out there. So everybody stick around, refresh the page in just a little bit, and we'll be getting this party started. Thanks to everyone. Much love.